All right, let's dive into a story from the world of AI that, honestly, feels like a bit of a riddle. We're talking about a model called Mixtral of Experts, and it introduces a paradox that really makes you rethink everything.
For the longest time, the mantra in AI has been pretty simple. Bigger is always better. More parameters, more power, smarter model. End of story. But what if that's not the whole picture? How is it even possible for a smaller, leaner model to completely outclass a much, much bigger one?
So, let's look at the two contenders. In one corner, you have Llama 2, a total beast of a model with 70 billion parameters. And in the other corner, we have Mixtral. Now, look closely. It only uses 13 billion active parameters when it's working. That word active is the key to this whole thing. We're talking less than a fifth of the size of Llama 2. So you'd think this is an easy win for the big guy, right? Well, think again. When you put them to the test on really tough stuff, like math problems or writing code, Mixtral, the smaller model, doesn't just keep up. It actually wins. And in some cases, it wins by a lot. This is the paradox we're talking about. Less is somehow more. So what on earth is going on here? The secret isn't brute force. The secret is an entirely different way of thinking about how an AI should be built. It's not about having one giant brain. It's about having a team of specialists. The technology behind all this is called a sparse mixture of experts, or SOE for short. And what's so cool about this is how it works. Instead of one gigantic network trying to do everything, each layer of the model has a bunch of smaller, specialized expert networks. And here's the kicker. For any given problem, only a couple of those experts actually get woken up to do the work. The absolute best way to get your head around this is with an analogy. So just forget the idea of a single genius trying to solve every problem. Instead, I want you to picture Mixtral as this super efficient team of highly trained specialists. So here's how that team operates. First, a task comes in. In AI language, that's a token, just a piece of the puzzle. Then, a manager, which the researchers call a router network, takes one look at the task and knows exactly which two specialists are perfect for the job. It doesn't waste everyone's time. It just pages the two best experts. Those two get to work, they process the task, and then their results are combined to create one unified expert-level answer. So how big is this specialist team? Well, at every single layer of the AI, there are 8 different experts, each with their own knowledge, just waiting to be called on. But here is the magic trick. For any single piece of a problem, only 2 of those 8 experts ever get used. And that is how Mixtral can be so efficient. It has a huge library of knowledge spread across all its experts, but it only ever uses a small, targeted fraction of its power at any one time. It's working smarter, not harder. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but, talk is cheap. Does this whole team of experts idea actually deliver? Let's look at the hard data and see how it holds up when the pressure is on. And here it is. The proof is right in the numbers. This table puts Mixtral head-to-head with Llama 2 70B on some of the toughest AI benchmarks out there. On MMLU, which is a general knowledge test, Mixtral just barely squeaks out a win. But look at the scores for code and math. It's not even close. Mixtral is just in a different league. It's not just a win, it's a total domination. And the researchers really call this out. It seems like this whole mixture of expert setup gives the model a massive advantage when it comes to structured, logical thinking. Things like programming and math problems. And you can really see that gap right here. By having these specialized experts, the model can essentially say, oh, this is a math problem. Let me send it to my math gurus. It routes the problem to the parts of its brain that are best at that specific task, and the results, well, they speak for themselves. But being great at tests is one thing. Mixtral skills don't stop there. The researchers dug a little deeper and found some other amazing capabilities that make this model incredibly well-rounded. It turns out, this team of experts is also fluent in multiple languages, has a memory that's frankly unbelievable, and it's even more fair and balanced. Let's break down each of those. This is really interesting. The team behind Mixtral deliberately trained it on a lot more non-English data. And boy, did it pay off. You can see here it just crushes Llama 2 in French, German, Spanish, and Italian. It's proof that this expert architecture is amazing at handling and even specializing in different languages. And then there's the memory. This is just wow.
Researchers gave Mixtral a task that's like finding a needle in a haystack. They hid a tiny piece of information inside a massive document. We're talking 32,000 tokens. That's like a small book. And Mixtral found it every single time. 100% accuracy, no matter where they hid it. That is just incredible. And finally, let's talk about fairness. There's a test called the BBQ benchmark that's specifically designed to see if a model has social biases. Well, Mixtral scored higher, which means it showed less bias than Llama 2. On top of that, its answers tended to have a more positive tone, so the architecture might actually help build safer, more helpful AI. So let's recap. We have an AI that's more efficient, a genius at code and math, speaks multiple languages, and has perfect recall. But you know what? The most important part of this entire story might be what its creators did next. They gave it away, for free, to everyone. Mixtral was released under the Apache 2.0 license, which is one of the most open and permissive licenses out there. And what this means is huge. It means anyone, whether you're a student at a university or a startup trying to build the next big thing, you can use this incredible technology for free, even in your own products. This isn't just sharing a tool. It's like giving rocket fuel to the entire global developer community. It's going to speed up innovation like you wouldn't believe. And you can see their mission right here in their own words. They wanted to help other people build new things that can benefit everybody. It's a really powerful vision for the future of AI. So we're left with this final massive idea. Mixtral proved that working smarter can beat working harder, that a team of specialists is better than one giant. But by releasing it to the world, its creators raised an even bigger question for all of us. What happens now? What happens when you put some of the most powerful and efficient AI tools ever created into the hands of anyone, anywhere, who wants to build something new? The answer to that? Well, that story is just getting started.